Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cheryl Witha show. We are on episode 7, My Kind of People. So, in case this is the first time you're tuning in, My Kind of People series features those people I feel that inspire the freedom within all of us. The things that they have done, the purpose that they have found is amazing, and I hope to get them on board so that they can inspire. And they come from very different backgrounds, and today we have someone very interesting. uh, his his name is often synonym to the balcony. We will ask him why in a short while. He's a very interesting person. I was very lucky. Myself and Xiao San had him on our show last year, I believe, for the Me series, Mind, Body, and Soul, and we were talking love languages. So imagine the person who talked about love languages, right? He has a very interesting perspective. So I'm going to bring him on board and I'm going to stop talking. So I want to introduce to you Jeffrey Tan. Hi,
Hello.
Jeffrey.
Hi. Good evening, Cheryl. Good evening. Thank
How
you
are
for
you,
having me.
Jeffrey?
Oh, wow, I am, to be honest, a little bit, I don't know, I'm just curious. I'm really very curious for today because I don't know what's going to happen. But
Yeah,
otherwise, I think I'm good. I'm really good. I had a great day. Yeah.
that's great. That's great. So, just
Yeah.
to let the viewers know, I
All right.
never give questions for my lovely audience to prepare, which is terrible. Not the audience, my guests to prepare, right? That's really horrible. But I
Okay.
really love the fact that it's unscripted because we really go into the depth of who the person behind the profile is, Jeffrey. And
All
we've
right.
had conversations before on the show, after the show, and a couple of times over the phone as well as, and I think you do this really easy. You're a pro in speaking and expressing yourself. So I don't think you're gonna have a problem. But I have to
Okay.
say this, Jeffrey, before we
All
go
right.
into the deeper introductions of who you are, right? I have to ask you this, right? Okay,
Yes.
your background, is it really real?
Oh, this
Is
background,
it a Zoom
yes.
background, like mine?
See, no green screen, nothing. It's real. It's so real. You can actually pluck the stars out from the sky. It is real. Yeah.
It's really
So,
beautiful. It's really, really
it is.
beautiful. And
Yeah.
I can't even believe it's real, right? I just said earlier, right? It seems so real, but it's so unreal that it's so real. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like a perfect picture, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
is. So please don't give me a heart attack throughout the session, right? No big movements flying off your balcony. Yeah.
Yeah. I will try. I will
So
try.
Jeffrey, I need to
Yes.
ask you this before we go deeper, right? What is
Okay.
with this balcony? What is with
What
this
is
balcony? Tell me about it.
What is with this balcony? Okay. First and foremost, this balcony is a lifesaver for me. It has been a lifesaver, and it has also been the one place I work out from, as well as I occasionally do work out here. Now, this only happened, uh, but actually, it happened only since March 8, March 19, 2020. Yeah.
Lockdown anniversary.
Yeah, exactly. Lockdown anniversary. Um, and exactly that. Had nowhere to go. That first lockdown was really horrible, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was really a lockdown, keys thrown away kind of thing. You can't step out of the house. And me being an outdoor person and very kinesthetic, I like to move around, and this really felt claustrophobic. So only then I began to actually appreciate the beauty of this balcony. Yeah.
So
So
we
yeah.
have this whole balcony man tag that goes with you, right? So every
Oh,
time a lot of people call you the balcony man. Tell us why.
yes. Why? All right. As I shared with you earlier, this balcony saved me. Okay,
Yeah.
how so? Only because it gave me an opportunity to work out here and to do work here. Because one thing I realized was during the pandemic, because we
Mhm.
can't step out, I had to keep myself physically and mentally fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not bouncing off the walls. So so what I did was I took this little piece of balcony. I think it's about maybe about 50, 60 square feet, enough for me to do planking and enough for me to do burpees and the sort. So I started doing that on March 19th. It started exactly on March 19th. And after doing the workout, I felt really good, and I decided to just do a video. You know, it was very impromptu, not planned for. Decided, wow, I just did a video. You know, I just did my workout. I feel so good. Yada yada yada. So I just did that. Yeah, and unbeknownst to me, that thing became something that I would do every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started doing every day, and I started posting on Facebook. Initially, it started off on Facebook. It didn't even go on to LinkedIn.
Mhm, mhm.
So I put it on Facebook, and some friends started. Some people were commenting that, oh, you know what? That I really needed to hear that. That was really inspiring. That motivated me. Blah blah blah. And I felt that, oh, I was doing something different. I was making a difference, and therefore I continued. And how did the name come about? The name came about, I think it came about when I had a chat with Amin. I don't know if you know him, Amin
Yeah.
from
I mean,
Popcorn. Yeah. So,
Yandaru.
yeah, Yandro, I had a chat with him, and he said, hey, bro, you know what? You're doing shooting all these videos from the balcony. It's really interesting. You know, you should call yourself the balcony man. So so it started off as a joke, I guess. And I just started with the hashtag balcony man.
I
And
see.
for a
I
year it stuck. Yeah, that's
I
how it
think
got
it's
started.
still sticking. And I've seen some guys, seriously, right? Just a note, right? Like, I wish I could tell you in secret when Jeffrey's not here, but since he's here, right? He's told quite interesting stories on the balcony. Yeah? If you go back and look his earlier posts, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, Jeffrey, but let's not go too much into that.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, I almost forgot about that. That's been like 2, 3, wow,
Yeah,
two
yeah,
years.
yeah.
Yeah, really. Oh, wow. What an
When
anniversary.
when you did this whole balcony thing, and I started watching your videos, right? I thought it
Yeah.
was a content creation strategy, like from the beginning you were like, okay, I've got this place, this is going to be my zone to take videos. It's interesting to hear that it was like a form of a salvation, right? A breath of
Yeah.
fresh air, literally, right? It's really
Yes.
lovely to know. So tell us, right, who is Jeffrey? Because I mean, the first time I heard about you, of course, was through Popcorn, through Nina,
Uh-huh.
Yandaru, and
Right.
Pauline. And they said, you want to talk about love language, you should definitely speak to Jeffrey. I'm like, who is Jeffrey? And I used to see you around LinkedIn, but I didn't
All right.
really know you. And they were like, you need to speak to Jeffrey. And then, of course, guys, I mean, you can hear Jeffrey's voice right now, right? He's got like the perfect radio voice. So the first time I heard your voice, I was like, oh my God, you sound like a radio DJ.
Oh, wow. That's a compliment.
It is,
I
it is.
Yeah, when I first shot my video, I sounded so squeaky. I actually thought about not putting it on on
Yeah,
Facebook, you know?
I'm glad you
Yeah.
did. I'm glad you did. So tell me,
Ah,
who is Jeffrey, right?
yes.
What kind of person is Jeffrey? And if you were to use one word to describe yourself, what would it be?
Wow. One word to describe myself. I would still I think pathfinder would be the word for me. Because
Why?
why? Because firstly, pathfinder, it was me finding my path in life. Yeah. And secondly, I love adventure. I love the outdoors. and I fell in love with this character from The Last Mohicans, the Pathfinder. Yeah,
Ah,
I don't know if you remember Daniel
yes,
Day
yes.
Lewis, right? I'm not as good looking as him, but I fell in love with that story, with that character. You know, he was finding paths for what do you call that? I forget the name, but he's finding paths for people. At the same time, he was also making peace amongst the Indians and the settlers. Yeah,
Mhm,
so
mhm.
I just love that character. Yep,
So the
that's a little bit in a
pathfinder.
nutshell. Mhm.
Okay, we will dig a little deeper in a short while about what you do and how this pathfinding has found its place in your life and how, right? So I want
Okay.
to talk a little bit about we met during the love languages, right? I mean, we've never met face to
Hmm.
face, but online
Yep.
like this,
Yep.
right? We met when we were discussing love languages, okay,
Right.
with another
Yep.
one of our guests, right? And we had a little insight. I had a little insight into your family life, and I remember we were when you were shooting from your place, you had like a picture of your kids painting,
Ah,
drawing, right?
yes. Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw and we continuously see little bits and pieces of your life in terms of your family, your kid, your son, your daughter, right? On
Right.
LinkedIn, on your videos, and if you follow Jeffrey on Instagram as well, we see that, right? So can you tell me how these parts of your life, how does it all fit in together into this person, this pathfinder, right? How does those parts of your life fit in? How does it work
Ah, okay. How does it work?
into your core, right, of who you are?
How does it work? Okay. Firstly, once upon a time, I was married, and then I was divorced, and therefore, I have two lovely kids. Yeah, I have two lovely kids, and the painting that you saw as the backdrop previously was actually a finger painting that we did when they came over to visit. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, my two kids actually they live with my ex-wife.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, and so whenever during the weekends they will come over and stay with me. And so whenever I have this opportunity and time with them, I try my best to be as much of a dad as I can with them. Yeah, I want to just be that part of life. They're growing up and stuff, and we want to do fun things. So that's how that painting went up the wall. Yeah, I thought it was something cool that we did together. So that's how it went up the wall. Yeah,
I think
and
it's
what?
really lovely, actually, Jeffrey. How you bring in, we get to see that side of you, and sometimes in your
Mhm.
videos, I really enjoy watching your daughter and your son and your little trips together. You know, your little adventures. It just gives
Yeah,
people a better insight of who Jeffrey Tan is, if that makes sense, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, Yeah, I think I want to share that bit of myself as well because no matter who we are, even as a professional, right, there is this life that we have
Yeah.
behind the scenes, or rather behind this professional person or career person. Yeah. And I think there are also a lot of people out there whom I think I don't know, maybe to connect with people, maybe to get people to see a side of me which they normally don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the other thing is also I think just to share that joy that I have when I'm with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are sharing a lot of things. Oh, I got a new car, I got a new house and stuff. But I've got kids. I want to share my kids. Yeah, so yeah, that's I think yeah, and my daughter loves to get online as well. So yeah, so
You've
it's
got
okay.
fans of your balcony. Casey said he loves your balcony. I think earlier Sandy said she loves your balcony. So you have a lot of balcony friends. I think you can start a
Oh
whole community,
yeah.
balcony
Oh
friends.
yeah, Kate. Casey was saying in the LinkedIn comments that he would love to see it done on the balcony. Well, here it is, Casey. The balcony is for you.
Audience request. All you need to do is ask, right, Casey?
Yeah, exactly. All you got to do is ask. Let's just
Actually,
hope they
right?
haven't
We
seen the
didn't even
rest of
think
the
about
videos
it.
yet.
Casey, go check out his videos, okay? Casey, don't ask me which ones, but go check it out. It's actually very interesting. So if any one of you, right, you all go to Jeffrey, okay, go look up Jeffrey Tan's profile, okay, on LinkedIn, right? Go and look up his profile. If you open his profile right now, the first, I think, I don't know, Jeffrey, your marketing seems to be really amazing, right? Because the first two words in his profile already caught my attention in his About You section. A fisherman and a cook. You have to tell me about this.
Well, fisherman and the cook. Okay. Um, a fisherman. You want to know where that fisherman and the cook came from, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay. What happened was this. After Form 5, like any teenager, I guess, I didn't know what to do. I was not one of those people who the moment they step into school, they've decided they want to be an
What they
accountant,
want to do.
lawyer,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Me, I was, after Form 5, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know which direction I want to head for. Uh, but what I did have was very supportive parents who encouraged me to go explore. It says, my stepmom used to say, "Hey, why don't you just go try doing this, try that out, and see if you like it, you know?" And my dad was a teacher. Yeah, both of them were teachers actually, and but they never pushed me in any specific direction. Go lah, go explore. So what happened was, how did I become? How did I get to become a fisherman? Was my dad had a friend who has this kelong in Teluk Intan. I think a lot of youngsters don't know what a kelong is. Maybe they can Google it up. Yeah, it's a platform in the sea,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
where we catch ikan bilis. You know the ikan bilis that you find in your nasi lemak, the fine ones? Yeah, we
Anchovies.
were
Yeah, yeah,
catching
the
that.
tiny
Yeah, the
ones.
anchovies, yeah. So I spent about 3 months because I didn't know what to do. I just went there and I love fishing. I love the sea, and then I just went and did that.
So did
But
you live in
because
Teluk Intan?
yeah, I was there. I didn't live in Teluk Intan. I lived in the Kelong in Bagan Datuk.
I remember us
Bagan
talking
Datuk.
about this. I'm from Teluk
Yeah, yeah,
Intan.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And
It's a
yeah,
very small
the
town, right? So yeah, Makan
yes,
is even
yes.
smaller.
Yeah,
I
Bangadato is
see.
even smaller. Yeah. So I worked there, and because at that time I was pretty small sized, so the rest of the fishermen were saying like, okay, this guy probably can't pull his weight, can't because the nets are heavy and stuff. Let's shove him inside the kitchen, and the kitchen was just a little triangle, little hut, very tiny. If I go in, I have to squat down there. Yeah, it's really tiny. No standing space. You gotta just squat in there, and the quali is right in front of you. So yeah, belly to quali kind of thing. So I
That's
used to
good.
cook there lah. Yeah, yeah. That's how
So
I
that
became
means
cook there.
you
Yeah.
can you still can cook and you cook very well. That means you had good experience right from young.
No, no. Well, I think you see because when you live on a kelong, there's not very much fresh water. You probably
Mm,
have fresh water supply for 5 days, and then you gotta wait for the boat
to come.
to bring in fresh water, right? So we had to use things sparingly. So every
Mm,
time, whatever we cooked, you will have one pot of rice, okay, one pot of rice, and the next thing would be the kuali. And if you want vegetables and fish, it will all be mixed together. It's kind of like the Cantonese say "yam wok sok,"
one pot soup lah.
yeah, yeah, one pot. So one pot cooked thingy, you have fish,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
all dumped inside there lah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that concept. Easy, easy, easy work.
Yes, yes,
Cook one
yes.
dish and you're done.
Yeah. So if you're asking me if I can cook fantastic dishes, no. Even my daughter says, no, this one not so good actually. Yeah, but I
Was that
try.
like your first? Was that like your first kind of exploration?
Yeah, that was actually really yeah, because I didn't know what to do. So I
And
thought,
how old were
okay,
you? 17?
at that time I was 17 or 18, I think. Yeah,
Wow.
probably 17 plus at that time. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've seen right in your profile as well. You talked
Uh-huh.
about the different kind of areas you've been into. You've been managing business owners. You've managed people who lead managers. You've managed personnel. You've looked at
Yeah.
leading projects. Can you talk to us about those different parts of your career? Like how did you?
Oh,
Because it's so diverse, right? And
yeah.
how did you get there? Like what brought you from
Um,
one side to the other?
okay. I worked at the Kelong for 3 months, after which my mom got me a job through a friend uh, to do to supervise contract cleaners at the Manara Maybank.
Okay.
So yeah, I got into that job and tried it out because I didn't know what else to do again. Yeah,
So from
so
Bagan Datuk to KL,
yeah,
quite a
Bangladesh to
change of
KL.
scenery, right?
Yeah, yeah, from from cooking in the little tiny kitchen, tiny shed, to cleaning toilets in Manara Maybank,
Okay.
cleaning the marble floors and all that. So you see, those starting points were because I can read and write. So you naturally get to go into the
Supervisor.
supervisory level. So that's where I started, supervising cleaners and all that. And all the cleaners are a lot older than me, a lot of machi and all that.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I think that gave me the experience of how learning how to deal with people and manage people uh, with respect.
Yeah.
Because yeah, being Malaysian and being Asian, right? We are not kind of like scream and shout and yell at people, and especially if they're older than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I learned through that how to deal with people like this, that particular age, just so that I'm still respectful and still
Mm-hmm.
need to get things done. So
But
that's
must
how
have
I.
been a bit difficult, right? Like here, you're some tiny boy coming there and supervising all these much older people, and we see those kind of dynamics at the workplace these days, right? Very young
Yeah.
people are supervising, and how? I mean, was it difficult for you? How did you learn how to balance that?
Uh,
Just to get their respect, so that they would
it
want to even like
actually
listen.
it was very difficult, and especially if like for me, I came in from no background at all, and these people have been doing cleaning for a while. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. The thing with professional cleaners are these. They are not just like how we do cleaning, sweep and mop the floor in the house. They actually have certain specific ways to do it. Yeah, and there's always timeline as well because one eight
Efficient.
hour day, 1 8 hour day, you gotta wash how many toilets, how many rounds, that kind of stuff. So you
Mhm.
need to know. And me being really green, not knowing how to manage people, not knowing how to supervise people, not knowing anything about the cleaning business at all, I really had to learn from scratch. And I, looking back, I think I had good set of attitude. Yeah, I decided that in order for me to actually manage these people or lead these people, I would need to know exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
So I started wiping the floors, mopping the floors, cleaning the toilets and stuff, so that I can get times like how much time it will require you to clean a bathroom or mop the floor or wipe the staircases, 60 floors of staircases with a hand towel. So I needed to know all that.
Yeah.
I learned all that so that whenever I told them to do something, uh, they would not be able to tell me they can't do it, or just because they know I've done it. And they learn to, I would say, they give you respect for that,
You
because at
earn their
least,
respect, right? You earned it.
yeah, exactly, yeah, I really had to earn it, because you know a lot of our workers, they're kind of like, you don't tell me what to do, you don't know how tough this is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So when
Understand.
I've done that, I can actually, yeah, I know how tough it is, and I don't go overboard, over demand or over expect things. So I manage that, by doing that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
mentioned you work with business owners as well, right, in your journey, right?
uh-huh,
And how what was it like? So now you're dealing first you're dealing with cleaners, right? A whole group of them who
yeah,
are much older than
right,
you, and then you went on to I'm not sure about the timeline so much, but you went on to
right.
dealing with business owners, right? What was that like?
Uh,
That again was a very different environment completely, right?
yeah, totally. I mean, right off from the cleaning industry, I went on into sales. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I started doing sales in the cleaning products. And that itself, I again had to deal with my salespeople. I had to deal with the operations people. So very, very different. And of course, I have to report to the boss, and that also requires some managing as well, managing their expectations.
Yes.
Yeah, managing whatever they want us to get done and stuff. So a lot of that. Yeah.
Why do you think you made such changes, such big changes in terms of what you do? Are you the sort, do you feel you're the sort of person who likes to explore different things, and you think it's because of your parents giving you that, in their mindset that, hey, you can do anything that you want. So there's no limit to what you can potentially attempt, because a
Um,
lot of us, a lot of us, right? We go like, okay, I studied this, this is what I'm good at, or this is what I'm used to. Let's just go within this line. And every time
uh,
uh, you want to explore something new, you're like, oh, I don't think I can do it because I don't have any experience, something very different. What do you think
yeah.
made you so
Uh,
flexible, I would say, or versatile?
I think I think that versatility came during the time when I started working. It was during the recession, actually. So there were not very many choices to be had. Yeah, I studied for quantity surveying, but
Mhm.
when I came out to the market, the pay was like, ridiculously low. Like you get
Mm.
paid 250 to work in a company to do taking off. 250, that's crazy, right? Yeah. Uh,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah. And the also because I didn't graduate. I didn't get my diploma from QS during that time. So it was like, oh, okay, the first job that came, I would grab it first. So initially, I wasn't being so picky. I wanted to get a job. I
Yeah.
needed to get a job. I needed to survive. I needed to help around the house, right? So when the job came, I was just grateful that, oh, somebody's offering me a job. I'll just take it first. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And during that time, I never had that dream of doing what I'm doing today. Never thought about it then. Never crossed my mind even. Uh, I was just glad that I had a job. So it started from there. Yeah. Uh,
One must say it's that
yeah.
feeling, yeah. I think he's referring to, get any job that you need. And I think I don't know if we can kind of put that same kind of environment today with COVID-19, right? There's so many
Uh-huh.
limitations in terms of jobs. And I think there's a lot of freshies listening, and those who are still in uni, right? Looking
Right.
at the job market right now, I think some of them feel that way, right? Like, I better take whatever I can get because, times are bad. Even
Yeah.
internships are hard to get right now because companies are really struggling. So now
Yes.
choices are pretty limited.
Mhm.
And what's your advice to these young people listening in today when
Wow.
it comes to job choices? Yeah.
You know, Yeah, and especially a lot of students, they are studying for a particular, going in a particular direction, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And sometimes it's like, but I studied management. I don't want to do this kind of menial job. But yeah, right now, if there are no jobs, you just want to grab anything, because whatever job you do, trust me, whatever you have studied, you have some use for it there. And especially, for example, if you're studying management, you will you once you get a job, you learn how to manage people, and you can actually apply some of the stuff that you learn. And slowly from there, you work your way lah.
yeah,
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 it's not gonna just plumb. Oh, just because I studied for
yeah.
a designer, I'll get a job as a designer straight off. No lah.
And it
But
might not even be what you think you like once you do the job,
yeah,
right? It's a whole
yeah,
different ball game
exactly.
altogether. That's very
Yeah,
true. So
yeah,
tell me, Jeffrey, we've talked about the
yeah.
different experiences you've had, right?
Uh-huh.
If you combine and take all the experiences you've had to date, right? Especially the
Uh-huh.
ones earlier to now, earlier to what you're doing right now, what do you think are
Okay.
the biggest lessons? Let's look at one big lesson, right, that you've learned, you think, from those varied experiences.
Oh, wow. There are so many. I can't pick one right now. If you, uh, for
What
me,
you think is
from
useful to you today, like the biggest, you think if you didn't have that lesson, right, today life would be much harder for you, and it's made your
oh,
life much smoother, especially
I
now, right, with the pandemic.
yeah. I think just be flexible and being humble. Yeah. When there are no jobs around, doesn't matter what degree you have, doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
You can have a degree, but I studied for a degree, so you know, uh, not to say that it's not important. It is important. However, you must just grab it first and be humble. I mean, it may not be what you studied for, but try it out, work it first, and then work your way up. Yeah. So, biggest lesson. Uh, for me, my biggest lesson was the willingness just to try anything.
try anything. Yeah, I think
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
an important lesson even today.
yeah.
Never
I
to
mean,
be open.
I never for once thought that, I studied until Form 5 already. You asked me to go become cleaner, cleaning supervisor. Wash toilet, Hello, right? I never thought of that. And
Yeah,
along the way, I have met this wonderful student that he studied law. Yeah, he was studying law in his third year or fourth year, and he came to work as a cleaner at our company. And I so happened to meet him that day and ask him. He was about maybe in his early teens, late teens, I guess. I was asking him, why do you come here to work as a cleaner? I mean, you're studying law. Oh, he says, no, I want to learn what people go through so that I can become a better lawyer. That
wow.
to me was like, wow. Yeah,
Such
exactly.
such wisdom at that age, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I remember his name because I'm sure he's a very successful lawyer right now.
Yeah,
I
kudos to
mean, with that
him.
sort of wisdom, yeah, who learns to, you know, ground up, see what other people are going through, having the empathy, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
important.
yeah,
So Jeffrey, this
yeah.
pathfinder that we see before us today, right?
Mhm.
How did pathfinding become who you are, become part of what you do, right? That core. What I mean,
Right.
does this have to do? I believe we spoke about it as well, right? Does it have to do with the program you attended in '98?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I was, well, in 98, I guess I was maybe in my early 30s. Yeah, I had a job and I would say it was paying me okay. I could afford a car by then and all that. But I still didn't know how to lead people. Still didn't know how to lead. Uh, Worst stuff, I didn't even know how to lead myself. I was all over the place. Whatever came along, I just did lah. I didn't think about how to project myself and stuff like that. That changed my life. Going through that, I learned to take charge of my life, and then I learned that wow, there's a lot of people out there who's willing to help us get to where we want to go. But the most important person is still ourselves, helping us to get us there. Because the moment you realize that, I think it frees you up a lot. There's a sense of freedom, knowing that this is my life and I can take charge of it. Because a lot of people believe that this is my life, this is my lot in life. I can't do anything
This is just how
else.
it is, right? This is my,
Yeah,
I think it's a victim
yeah,
mentality, right? This is just the way things
yeah,
are. I have to live with it.
yeah, exactly. So I saw that, and after getting through that, I was coaching. I was coaching a lot of people, a lot of these young leaders coming up, and I realized that is very true for a lot of people.
But
And
Jeffrey, if I can
yeah,
hold you there, right?
sure,
But why would you enroll yourself in this kind of a program, right? You said it's a leadership program.
yeah.
Why would
Why would
you
I?
like I mean, for a lot of people, right? When
Yeah,
let's talk about things like self-help,
yeah,
leadership, those kind of programs, right? A lot of people feel that, oh, why do I need to go into a leadership program? Am I lacking as a leader? Like often it's like a, I lack this, I lack that. And a lot of people might not be so open to joining something like that. Like, why, what made you say like, okay, I'm gonna go and do, because you've had leadership roles, right, in different
yeah,
jobs. What compelled you
exactly.
to go like, okay, I need this, I need to go for this? Why do you even take the step to do that? Something must have triggered, right?
Yeah. Well, positions. I got straight off into a sales manager's position and stuff like that, and I didn't know how to lead, like I told you, right? Okay lah, I was good at what I was doing.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
willing to do
Learn.
everything to get my sales. I would go and see as many customers as I can, but that didn't mean I knew how to lead other people, and I wanted to be more effective at what I did, and that's how I got myself to jump in to that program. And the other thing was, the one big curiosity I've always had was, what is the purpose of my life? Yeah,
I love that
yeah,
question,
right.
right?
Yeah, I mean, nobody thinks about that kind of stuff, right?
Correct,
Well,
correct.
and especially if you're just a student or you just got into work, you're happy you got a job because you can pay for your
Yeah.
phone bills, you can buy that new phone.
Buy
But
Starbucks.
yeah, yeah, but at the end of the day, right? Why am I here for? I wanted to find out. That's been a question for me since I was 12 actually. But I never did ask any further. I was
Yeah.
curious when I reached 30, especially so when I after work, this is what actually happened for me. I would go to work every morning. I'll go to work, come back, eat, sleep, wake up, go to work, come back, eat, sleep, and repeat. Yeah,
Yeah.
repeat.
It's like rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse.
Exactly. Uh, and
What am I
and
doing,
one
right?
day, yeah, and one day I came home. I was so tired. I came home. I took a nap. And when I got up, it was already about seven something. It was dusk, and I had I just looked out my airwell. I was living on a shop lot, the top floor. Yeah. I was looking out the airwell and was thinking, oh wow, every day of my life is it going to be like that?
That's gonna
It's
be
so
my way.
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so boring, right? And I thought, geez, um, what am I here for? What's this life? Is this all what life is about? I was at 30 then. Yeah. So that's when I decided to start exploring. And I'm glad I came into this particular program, and that's how it opened my eyes. Yeah. And then I realized that, oh, what I actually wanted was to find out what the heck am I here for?
Why
Why
am
am
I
I here
alive?
for?
Why
I
am I
want to
breathing?
know. Yeah, yeah, I want to know why. Yeah. So that's how it started. Yeah,
I love that. I love that. And I think all of us eventually, right, that moment
yeah,
will come maybe different times in our life. Like for me, it was in my 20s. I was like, what am I
yeah,
doing with my life? Like, why? What am I even doing? Am I doing anything of value? Like, all of a sudden, like, what's wrong with me? Like, you feel that urge. We have Manu Saravanan asking, have you ever
yeah.
felt afraid to face failure?
Oh yeah, of course. I have, especially when I start to, when I decided, that's what took me so long to jump out and to do what I'm doing right now. Because,
Mm.
like I said, once I started my cleaning career, I went into sales, and for 25 years I was in sales. I was working 25 years in sales, and my last job, the last company was for 16 years. And when you work that long in a company, to step out to do
So
what I'm
hard.
doing now, it's scary. It's scary because for the last 25 years, I have got a paycheck. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got this comfort of a paycheck every month. Irrelevant of whether I was lazy or I was pulling my weight, I would still get a paycheck, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Security,
Not a,
right?
yeah, security. Not good example. Don't be lazy lah. But you might get the second. But that was what happened, right? Um, but I just felt I wanted to do this, but I was really afraid because if I jumped out, what if I fail? And
What if I?
I think I was at 40 something then to come out 40 something. You look at the ads in the newspapers, or well, okay, advertisements rather. You don't see people wanting to hire 40 somethings. They're always below 30s,
I've
right?
heard that, right? Recently on LinkedIn as well. People are saying 40 is old. I'm like, what? 40 is old?
Yeah, yeah. People who are hiring, right? They normally will look at if you are above
Actually,
30, okay, you're past your prime. Bye. Next. So I was afraid. When I came out at 40, I think I was 40, 44 maybe. Uh, that was really scary. Was I afraid of failure? Yeah. What if I fell flat on my face? I'm going to lose the salary that I've accumulated. I'm not going to
yeah,
get the
yeah,
same salary again, right?
yeah. And you already
Because
have
I,
certain bills, you have certain circumstances, certain commitments you already
yeah,
have at that time,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And I had Gaia then. So
Gaia.
that was even more scarier. Yeah. So yeah, it is scary. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. So yeah, every other time, even to run Rise, the public
Yeah.
workshop, right? I was afraid to fail. It took me a long while to actually get it
let's
off the ground.
let's talk about that, right? Okay, so for those
Yeah,
of you who some of you might have attended Jeffrey's Rise program. He created it,
yeah.
I think, believe it, 2020. Am I right? End of 2020.
Yeah, end of 2020. Yeah, the session that I did, Rise in 90 minutes, was mainly to just just help out people who are kind of stuck, and it was 90 minutes. It was just to help people to get off and take charge of their life.
But
You know,
why did you start a program like that? I mean, a lot of people are suffering, and understand, during that time, and I'm sure
yeah,
it isn't easy for a business owner, right?
yeah,
Especially during the pandemic, especially in
yeah,
what we do, right?
yeah,
Why what made you start that program? And I believe it was a free program as well, right?
yeah. That one was free because I was struggling myself. I wasn't getting any jobs then, and a lot of jobs were postponed or even canceled. So I went through my ups and downs, especially when you look at your bank account, it's going lower and lower and lower, and jobs are not coming in. How am I going to pay my bills? How am
Yeah.
I going to pay for my children's school fees and stuff like that? Um, then I realized that what happened was I had a breakdown. Yeah, I had a breakdown in the morning, and by evening, by 5, oh, okay, I'm done. Uh, I need to do whatever I need to do next, you know. But then I realized that, hey, uh, it's my turn around that fast, even though it was a long period of time, a couple of hours. I feel that, is it because I have coaching experience? It's because I've gone through trainings. I'm doing trainings that I know, rather I have the tools or knowledge or
You
know-how
got the
to
toolkit,
actually,
right?
yeah, to climb out of it. So I thought, okay, perhaps that was it for me. But what if people who have not done any trainings or not had the opportunity to go for any training, what would they be doing? That's what made me decide to throw that out for free. The 90 minutes. I know 90 minutes is not a lot, but I've done a lot of 90 minutes for a lot of people, and it's most important that people need someone to hear them out.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
true.
and you know what? Oh, if you have a mental stress or what, nobody is gonna come and say, hello, I have mental stress. I don't know what to do. Nobody does that.
Yes,
Yeah,
especially in
and
Malaysia, right?
as yeah, and
You're not gonna put your hands
especially
up and say,
guy.
it's me,
Yeah,
teacher, it's me."
yeah. They're not gonna say I need help. No, and I've also noticed is, I would say 90% of the people that attended Rise have been women, ladies. Yeah, I only got two boys that attended Rise so far.
Eh,
Well,
more
no,
than that,
three,
right?
three or four. Yeah, more. I
From
mean,
my
I
side,
mean,
anyway, more
like,
than that.
yeah, I mean, for the guys who
Yeah,
actually went for the paid for Rise, there were what, three or four only.
very
Yeah,
few.
then I realized that actually a lot of men don't ask for help.
Yeah,
I didn't ask for help. I didn't
correct.
ask for help. Yeah, it's only sitting amongst my peers that we chit chat, and then we do help each other out. But I would not say, hey, I need help.
I need help.
I didn't do that. So I'm sure a lot of people don't do that either. And
True.
perhaps things will tide over. Yeah, it will tide over, but there's a lot of times we can't leave things to fate or luck. We need to do
Definitely.
something about it, and I
True.
think we can.
I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm glad
So
you did. The RISE program actually was something that my
yeah,
students loved. Usually
yeah,
when you tell students, hey, there's this program that I want you all to go for, and they're like, oh, like you can see it, like they're like, okay, fine. Miss Sharon asked us to go, so we'll just go. But they remember they came for your workshop, and I had another class, so I said, I'm leaving them
yeah,
with
yeah,
you, and I
yeah,
left. And they came and
yeah,
they were like, oh my god, I'm so glad I went there, and it felt like so free, and we could just speak our minds, and it was so
yeah,
liberating for them because they usually have an outlet where they can go out. You go to college, there's space, you go with your friends,
yeah.
and then the pandemic kind of like crushed everything into like a little box, and now all they
Correct,
see
correct.
is themselves in these boxes. And pretty
Yeah,
much your life is like that during the pandemic. You're in a box, you know
exactly, right. But I'm really glad for the few. I mean, I remember a couple of them. Yizen, for example.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, uh, Abby.
Michael, yeah, Abby,
Yeah, and they were like, really asking,
Ruben, yeah,
yeah, and they were asking for things, situations that they are facing themselves. And I realized that, hey, a lot of people actually are
yeah,
going through that, but they just don't know where to go, you
yeah.
know? Yeah.
Because rice was
So,
like a conversation rather than what's wrong with you.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
if not, you feel defensive. Like, no, nothing's wrong with me. I'm
Ex-
fine. I'm good.
yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah.
know.
So that's what I like to do. I like the dialogue with them, such that they have an outlet for themselves.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because you're right. Previously, we can just sit around the coffee shop and then chit chat and stuff, and sometimes even that, even amongst friends, we are not so open to share. Yeah,
yeah,
and of course, friends can listen and hear you out, but they might not be able to know or how to facilitate or coach you. Yeah.
Definitely.
So I thought, hey, I've got that and I've got the time, not going anywhere. So why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's
So
bring it to Jeffrey.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
earlier spoke about, when you started doing that leadership program that led you to coaching and to what you're doing right now, right? And you
Yeah.
said what led you there was purpose, right? How
Yeah.
important do you think purpose was for you, especially during the pandemic, right? How important was that purpose
Wow.
anchor?
Um, I think it gets me up in the morning. Having a purpose is really important. Versus, I just need to get money, just need to get money. Yeah. We all need money, but having
Definitely.
that purpose actually drives us to look at how we can make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not easy, of course. It's still challenging, but with that purpose, it drives you lah. It drives me, keeps me sane, keeps me focused on what I can do next. What else can I do? You know. And I realized that, oh, okay, I'm not just gonna give up yet, because this is what I'm good at, and
Yeah.
this is what I can offer to people, and this is what I can contribute, and I will continue doing that. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm sure you have heard that even during the pandemic, no jobs. I even work for a production crew as well, filming,
Yeah, I saw.
commercials. Yeah, and I think, yeah, I'm still doing. If there are jobs like that, I'll still go on and jump in and do whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but end of the day, no matter how tough it is, like for example, like rice, I had one participant who told me this. He said, "You know what? I have something to tell you, and I think you need to promise me something." I said, "What? Me promise you something?" He says, "Yes, you need to promise me. You need to promise me that you will continue doing rice and not stop." I said, "Why?" Because it really helped me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he told me. He said, it is really something that's impactful for me.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
really
yeah.
wish that you will continue that. So that gave me strength as well to just keep on going. So sometimes the rice workshop, there are no participants for the month, and it's okay. I'll go for the next month and the next month and the next month, like that. Lor. Yeah, and so
Jeffrey. Yeah.
Rise in
Go
90
ahead.
Minutes is still available to you guys. I'm sure you have more students, not only in your particular
Yeah, yeah.
classes, right? It's
Yes.
open to them if they want it. Yeah,
You heard that, guys. If y'all are interested, then drop me a text and I will arrange with
yeah,
Jeffrey. But
yeah,
talking about pathfinding, right, and what you do
yeah,
as a pathfinder, right? How do
right.
how do young people, right? Because I speak about purpose a lot in my classes for professional
Okay,
development, right? And it's
okay.
it's a very foreign concept to very young people, especially even to older people. Let's not go very far. Even with older people, they're like purpose,
Yes,
like yeah, I'm doing a job, I'm getting money, to feed my family, but
yeah.
like, what do you mean purpose? Like, how do they locate this purpose? Where do they
Oh,
start? Like, what is the starting point? Do they have to do what we did and wait for it to just appear in your mind, and then like one day you get up and like, oh, I need to look for my purpose, and I feel it's like so wasted, like to wait for it, like what we did.
yeah,
I feel like,
yeah,
imagine what I would have done if I knew what my purpose
yeah.
was like years ago. You get what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
how can they?
that's true. Ah, You know, we study something, chances are we are studied because for the lack of choice, we pick a
Yeah,
particular subject, or we're
correct.
forced into a particular subject. A lot of
Yes,
people are forced into particular subjects.
because they don't know what they
Um,
want to do, right?
yeah, I think I don't have I'm I don't think I have the right answer to it, but where you can find it is probably search within yourself. What is it that I like doing, for one?
Yeah,
Yeah. What is important for me? Search your values, for example. What's important to you? Because money is just an end result.
Yeah.
It's a means to an end. Yeah, it's a
Correct.
means to an end.
Means to and
Money
then
is
what?
yeah, but
Yeah.
if you have a purpose, that money can serve you in so many different ways. Yeah, it can bring you to right to it. Yeah, but to find purpose, I think we need to start asking ourselves, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to contribute? Yeah, for me, it started with my love for nature. Started with love for nature and that nurturing part, that nature, seeing how nature grows and stuff, somehow connected me to people.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's kind of like maybe it sounds very woo woo to you right now, right? I don't know.
True.
Yeah, for me, I just ask myself, why am I here for?
Yeah.
And what I realized was people kept coming to me whenever they had problems, their relationship problems, their boyfriend, girlfriend problems and stuff. They came to me, and I noticed that uh, I have very good listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would normally give them a time. I would listen, and then I realized that hey, I can actually help these people out, and therein lies my purpose to lift someone else above or to show someone else that there's more to you than you know. Yeah. And this is
Yeah.
your life. If you don't take charge of it, someone else will.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And I think I have done that successfully. Therefore, yeah, yeah. I know I'm not answering your question as how to find purpose as yet.
You are. You are. I don't
I
think.
hope
I
so.
don't. I Jeffrey, honestly, I don't think purpose is something that there's a formula to it, like one plus one equals two sort of thing. It's a
Yeah,
journey. It's not really a
yeah,
destination, but it's
yeah,
just to give them an idea of like what's the starting point, where they can start. Because
yeah,
our purpose in life sometimes also it's a build up, right, towards what we want, and we
yeah.
might not know it because maybe we have not gone through certain experiences yet to know that
Exactly.
ultimate purpose yet. As we get older, we stumble upon certain journeys that tell us like this is the right thing, right? Like
Mm.
certain things tell us like, okay, we're on the right path, we're on the right path, we're on the right path, right? Or no, let's take
Right.
a detour, right? It's just
Yeah.
a journey. I believe anyway, purpose is not just, it's not a destination which like we take a bus and then you reach there and then you're done. Oh, I've got it. It changes,
Yeah.
right? As we grow older,
Yeah.
as your experiences have taught you as well, right? Throughout your
Yeah.
experiences, taught you different
Exactly.
lessons that brought you towards different paths. And
Yeah.
where our path is today might be different tomorrow, but we're all heading maybe towards a particular direction, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's it. Like you said, your strengths and your values will direct you a
Yeah.
certain way. So
Yeah.
definitely you definitely did answer my question. Don't worry, I know I'm a teacher, but I'm I'm not looking for one of those formulas. I'm not one of those teachers, but yeah.
But I also believe and I also think that the adventure is in the search.
Yes,
You know,
it's fun. It's good, right?
that exploration is what enriches our lives.
Correct.
Imagine this if you were born and then you get a booklet and say, "Oh, this is your purpose."
Step
How
one, step
boring
two,
would
step
that
three.
be?
Huh? That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's it. After that, what do I do? Expire, right? So yeah, I think yeah that in search of our purpose is quite the adventure actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it
definitely.
allows like for me it allowed me to explore.
Correct.
I never saw myself as a trainer. I never saw myself to one day become a coach or facilitate a training because I actually have stage fright. Yeah, I do. I have stage fright. I had I don't have I have actually very low in confidence, low self-esteem even. Yeah. But what got me into asking for things was when I started doing sales. Yeah, my first 3 months was sales was actually quite scary. I would go up to the security guard and ask for the person in charge. The guy would actually say, "Oh, this is the person in charge. You should look for Mr. So and so." I said, "Okay, can I have his number, please?" He gave me the number, and then after I said, "Okay, thank you." Ah, you tak nak jumpa dia? I said, "Tak apalah, nanti saya call dia." I was so scared to actually meet the guy that I would really not take that opportunity. That was how
Yeah,
scared I
yeah.
was. Yeah.
It teaches you
Uh,
things, right? The attitude of that job teaches you things. Sales, you have to be brave, right? You have to be
yeah.
bold.
Yeah. But it was scary. I think what happened for me was when I was 7 years old, when I was given the opportunity to recite a poem in a school,
Yeah,
uh, I went onto the stage. I said my name. I gave the title of the poem, and I shut up. I froze.
yeah.
I couldn't speak. I froze, and my teacher. The next thing I knew was somebody tugging at my hand. I looked down, and my teacher was standing there, and he said, "Okay, you can come down now." And for years and years, I was not able to stand up front and say things.
Because
I
it was
was
in your
keep quiet.
subconscious, right? For the longest
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So yeah, has the journey been interesting? Yeah, like now lah. Yeah, my very first training, I think official training was actually I was shoved into the deep end by a dear friend who's passed on now. But yeah, it's because of him that I started doing what I did. Yeah, and
Definitely.
to make it more interesting, he actually shoved me into a leadership workshop on a weekend, leading a bunch of trainers in training. Yeah, and
Interesting.
that was really scary for me. But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
shoved me in, and yeah, and he wasn't even there.
I think we
uh,
all need that push sometimes, right? To get where we need to
yes,
be. We need that push.
yes, yeah,
Jeffrey, it's been such a
yeah,
lovely 1 hour speaking to you. As usual, time
yeah,
just passes by like that. And
yeah.
we've already reached an hour. Thank you so much for
Wow,
joining
that's
us.
quick.
Fast, right? Really fast.
Yeah,
Just one advice you would give to those tuning in today, right? It
yeah,
how would how can they start finding, how what can they do today, what can they do
uh-huh.
today
Okay.
towards finding their path, what can they do today, like one
What
small thing they can do,
one small thing they can do? Um,
an action, a step,
an
something.
action, right? I think what really helped me was do a mind map. Okay, if they're familiar with that, do a mind map. Uh, draw yourself in the center first, and then start pulling out what your skills are and what your knowledge, or what sort of knowledge you have. And if you could do a mind map of that, and you will actually realize how enriched you are the sort of experience you have, the sort of hobbies you have, um, and in fact, whatever skills you have right now, that will somewhat lead you to where you're going. Because we didn't accumulate all this stuff by accident. None of it was by accident. Yeah, and everything I believe happens for a reason.
Definitely.
And yeah, me being shoved into 150 packs to run a training scared the shit out of me. But yeah, this is where I am today. But yeah,
True.
that I think would be one of the biggest things you can do for yourself. Do a mind map. Your skills, your knowledge, and your hobbies, your interests. That will give you an idea of where you're headed.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Jeffrey. It's been lovely. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the session and you learned a lot from Jeffrey. It's always
I hope
interesting to
so.
have a conversation with you, Jeffrey.
Thank
Waman
you
says
so
had a
much.
good time listening to you, and Vimla was here as well. She says, "Thank you,
Ah,
Jeffrey. I love getting to know you. Your pathfinder is an interesting and inspirational journey."
thank you.
So
Thank you.
everyone, we will see you guys very much soon in April. All right, we have Vimala joining us next month. All right, so stay tuned and we will catch up with everyone next month in April. Okay, watch out
Yeah,
and click the bell notification on LinkedIn to follow me and actually catch up on the next dates. I will share with the links soon. Okay, good night
yeah.
everyone. Bye.
Good night. Bye.